Ryan, we've talked about Iran a handful of times on the show. Between this most recent totally not a war and the last totally not a war, which I think was, I don't know, what was that, 8 months ago now? It was last summer, because I think it started, if my brain's remembering this right, I think the last strikes on Iran started when I was in North Carolina last year, which I believe is in June. So, 9 months ago.
A whole baby ago.
When we destroyed all of their nuclear capacity, right?
In
Because
the
it was
Tom Cruise
dangerous.
movie. The Tom Cruise movie.
Yes. Because they were dangerous. Now, we were having negotiations with them, again, 8 months ago. And in the middle of the negotiations, Israel struck Iran, and we struck Iran during negotiations. I think Israel struck them first, if I'm not mistaken. And that led to what is now called the 12-day war with Iran, which is funny because during the 12-day war, they were very clear to not call it a war. As they're doing again this time, it's just depends who you ask, but it's an operation or conflict or whatever you want to call it. But it's anything but a war.
Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Well, it hasn't been declared, Ryan, so of course we can't refer to it as a war. But here's the thing with this whole Iran thing. And we talked a lot about this, a lot, and in some of the specifics, obviously we can get more into. This particular war with Iran, as we joked yesterday, the messaging is bad, right? That's what everyone's running around saying. Well, the messaging isn't good. Well, I would argue the messaging isn't good because the messaging can't be good because the thing they're trying to sell is completely unwanted.
Well, I think the thing they're marketing is the only way to market it without drawing it. Like, what's the other way to market this? Because if they start marketing it another way, it will draw red flags on all the things that they didn't want us to know about with this thing to begin with, probably.
Well, that is the thing. So there is no way to market it. So then they just have to shotgun approach this thing, which is why
and just let everything happen.
Well, it's everything. It's like depending who you ask.
Murder kids, release the pedophiles, fucking drowned, storms, cold, weather weapons, sickness.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like no matter
everything.
It depends who you ask in the administration, right? They'll tell you a different answer of why we're in this war. Some of my favorites is that Iran was inevitably going to attack us.
So it's a preemptive.
It was preemptive. War. Yeah, it was a preemptive.
So this was a war to stop war.
It was a war to prevent a war.
War is peace, David. War is peace.
And again, we were in the midst of talks with Iran, which again, I don't know if this really. I would think this would matter. Like if you were going to have talks with a country, presumably to avoid what's happening currently, and we said this last time this happened too, and you strike them in the middle of the talks, and then you try to bring them back to the table, like that's no longer an option. Because the other country, I think rightfully so, is going to tell you to pound salt. Like we were trying to talk. You fucking bombed us. I'm not talking anymore. We're done here. Like what do you want me to talk about? But depending who you ask, I mean, yeah, there was preemptive. They were going to attack us. They were going to get a nuke. That's bad for the world. Somebody said recently, it might have even been Trump, that the intelligence or someone told him, which Trump always, I've noticed Trump does this. He doesn't specifically say like the intelligence agency or defense or it's Department of War now. He doesn't like specifically name the department or the person who gives him the information. He just kind of vaguely says like, "Oh, I heard Iran was going to attack. They were going to take over the whole Middle East." It's like Iran was going to take over the whole middle. Like, where is this coming from? And I mean, maybe they were. I doubt it. It would be a weird thing to do out of the blue. There certainly weren't any signs of this. I mean, Ryan, I would say we cover global politics fairly closely, obviously.
I mean, just every day for like an hour and a half for
yeah. Even though we don't consider
years.
this a political show necessarily, right? it inevitably comes up time after time. And I don't recall seeing any little tidbits. Like, we knew the attack on Iran was going to happen. We called that weeks in advance, right? And I'm not bragging; many people did, but I'm just saying, like, we saw that coming. But you would have thought you would have seen some signs of Iran, uh, if they were going to be taking over the entire Middle East. You think there would have been like something out there? Something would have been leaked. There would have been some signs. The military would have been getting prepped, or what they said was, well, all the
Like satellite imagery or something,
yeah,
maybe.
well, they said, well, all the missiles were aimed at other nations. Okay, but date and timestamp that for me, because if I bomb your country and now your missiles turn, or if I'm in the midst of talks and quite frankly you don't really trust our talks because 8 months ago we had talks and I, bombed you and another country bombed you in the midst of our talks. Um,
Serious,
I don't know if I believe that.
serious question though. Like, isn't like a bomb always supposed to be pointed at where it's trying to get exploded, so it doesn't have to turn and waste time? Like the idea of a missile is to be always ready to fire in the direction that it was intended and designed to fire in.
Well, I think so. That's the point. Is what they're saying is, Iran's missiles were aimed. Um,
Of course, but this is what I'm saying. Like military, like, look, I understand what they're saying. Like they plan this in the future. That's fine. But everybody who plans to eventually maybe need a bomb points it at everybody else because defensive wise, if they shoot a fucking missile, what are you going to have them turn the fucking missile in the middle of an attack? Like it doesn't. It literally militarization wise doesn't make military sense. Of course, they're pointed at fucking their like they probably everybody's missiles point at everybody. Isn't that like the what's known? They have a Jewish space laser, David. Also,
um,
did you hear Iran painted silhouettes of airplanes on the ground for the bombing? Did you hear about that?
no.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not, but
Um,
that there's a rumor that they were spray painting like silhouettes of airplanes and they were getting hit with bombs because the United States or intelligence maybe thought it could be an airplane. Just trying to like show the incompetence of the military during this
it
exercise.
I have not heard that. I can look that up real quick. It may be. I mean, it may be true. I would be
I definitely
embarrassed.
seen pictures of it.
I'd be absolutely embarrassed if that was true. But Iran paints plane silhouettes.
Yeah, did the Wile E. Coyote on us.
Dude, that's fucking crazy if that worked. Dude,
General Patton did it in
yeah.
Operation Neptune for Operation D-Day. They had a whole separate land invasion planned,
Apparently,
and
this was old.
it
This
was
was an
just
old thing.
inflated. Yeah, Genghis Khan used to fucking fill his troops with like straw and set them on horses.
Fake AI satellite
Big.
imagery. Iran didn't paint.
All right,
Yeah, all right.
yeah.
Good. I'm good. I'm actually glad that was fake because I got to tell you,
It's definitely plausible.
if our multi-trillion-dollar military, like you called it, the Wile E. Coyote, dude, if we fucking ran into the painted tunnel on the cave, like,
It's
fucking
literally what it is.
pack it up. We're
It's,
done. We're
it
done here.
literally, yeah, it literally would be the Wile E. Coyote, dude.
The reason I'm bringing this up, and obviously we've talked, like I said, we've talked about this many times, but the reason I'm bringing it up today specifically is because I saw a clip, and it coincides with something else that I did today, and the combination of the two things. Ryan, I'm not. At least when I say not emotional, I don't show emotion particularly frequently, but I obviously feel emotion like anybody else. I was extraordinarily pissed off when I saw this clip today, in combination with the fact that today I dropped all of our documents off for taxes. Uh, the two things happened to coincide. So I rounded up all our stuff, right? Our W-2s, like, here's all the money that the government held from me, and now, for those who don't know what taxes are, now I'm going to submit to the government to try to get some of it back. That's essentially what we do for taxes, right? Like,
Yeah,
they take it,
overpaid.
they
Constant.
take it, and then you like beg for it back, like, please, don't take all of it. Like it's the craziest fucking
And
thing.
then you
It's
have
just
to file paperwork
wild.
against their paperwork that you don't get to see their paperwork until after
Sure.
you filed your paperwork, and then they get to compare, and if they don't compare, you're fucked.
Yeah, and if you do the paperwork wrong, even though they
You
already
they
took
sue you.
yeah, even though they already took your money, if you do it wrong and get too much money back, they're giving it back to you, but like you're at fault because you did the paperwork wrong, even though you
Even
gave it to
though
somebody
we
else to
allowed
do it.
it. Yeah, we cut you the check.
But they cut the check, but it's our fault because somebody else submitted the thing. You know all the information about me. You know everything about me.
They know how much money I need.
You have LifeLog. We'll get into that. You know everything.
LifeLock is
But if you
crazy.
cut me a check because I filled the paperwork, well, not even me, but somebody else who does it for me filled the paperwork out wrong. Like I go to jail. Like it's the
Yo,
craziest thing.
a nurse is not a profession, but a guy who just punches in ones and zeros in TurboTax is a profession.
Professional attacks. Like I swear to God, that's what H&R Block does. They just use like AI TurboTax. They just take a picture of your W-2, and you're like, oh, look, you get $40 back. Um, but the whole point is,
To break even, right, David? That's what we're told.
well, that is the point of taxes. But the point of this is that I have now submitted my documentation to try to beg the government to give me some of the money that they stole from me back
It
on
pleases
the
the crown.
day, on the same day that I see this clip. And I'm telling you, after I play this clip, you'll understand. This clip on any day would have pissed me off. It doubly pissed me off on this day.
And
This is
Wildy Coyote
it's
pissed
fucking.
you
I
off.
would wildly coyote this guy right now into a tunnel. He, Senator
Ah,
Lindsey Graham.
it looks like that plane is going up his ass right now.
He looks so
Oh,
pleased.
oh,
The
oh,
the
tough as
the
tough as
the feeling of war is just orgasmic to Senator Lindsey Graham, as you can note by the picture. Here is the clip that I'm referring to.
All the anti-Semites to all the isolationists. I don't believe. Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day. They're the best ally we could hope for. So we have a commander in chief in President Trump, who I think is Ronald Reagan plus, plus, plus. All the anti.
All
Reagan
the
plus
anti
plus plus.
Semites, which, by the way, you really have to break this stuff down when politicians say this shit, right? Because you have to like look at like the words versus what they actually mean. So what he's saying is all the anti-Semites and the isolationists, which he groups together for some reason,
Well, we both hate Jews, David. Clearly,
um, he groups them together. But also, when he says anti-Semites, don't be fooled, because let's talk about what anti-Semitism is in today's context. It's what Nazi was 10 years ago, during Obama, right? Or 12 years ago during Obama, whatever. Like when people were running around and calling us Nazis, um, it's literally the same thing. It's the same play, except the Democrats would run around and call us Nazis, but the people on the right don't call us Nazis. For some reason, they specifically just call us anti Semites. And it really means the same thing, which is we very much disagree with them. Uh, and that's basically it. Anti Semitism today is not this guy hates Jews. Um, it's this guy doesn't want to fight on behalf of a foreign government. That's now anti Semitic. So, what Lindsey Graham's saying is for all you people out there who don't want to go to war, I'm not with you. Now, again, he's referring to us, right? Us, American citizens. Me, Ryan, people watching this, us. He's not with us, American citizens. He's with Israel, which does kind of cement what we're saying when we run around and say things like we're going to war for Israel, and then we're called conspiracy theorists, and then senators get on TV and say that we're not with you, we're with Israel. And it's like that's what I said, but you said I was a conspiracy theorist.
well, I'll be. They're our best ally till our dying day. The
So
fuck does Israel have as an ally that we're with till our dying breath? I'd love to know.
so Ryan, on today.
Because
This day.
it's just
I had to submit my information to the government to beg for money back on the day that a United States senator is telling me that he's not with me. While we spend all types of money that we don't have to bomb another nation on behalf of another nation. In fact, I saw this number. Let me see if I can pull this up. Oh no, we got to talk about that too because that's interesting. What was it $5 or $6 billion I saw that we've already spent? Pentagon burned through $5.6 billion in munitions, which, by the way, that's not all the money we burned through. Then that's just in the munitions. In the first 2 days of the Iran war. $6 billion in 2 days to bomb Iran. That was not a threat to us, let's be clear. And when I say us, I mean the United States because I'm an American. Iran, absolutely. You will never make the case to me that Iran was an imminent threat to the United States of America. There's no chance you're making that case to me.
$6 billion is crazy.
$6 billion in 2 days on
It's
munitions.
crazy. It's crazy. I mean, dude, we're talking like $100 billion a month.
I mean, if it goes on, right?
Well, it's not gonna. How much was Universal College for everybody?
I think I feel like we looked this up a lot.
No, we did. I
it,
can't remember.
It was like an
I thought it was
astronomical
30.
money last time I asked, but it was like
30
the
billion
initial.
or something.
Yeah, well, like the initial, but then the reoccurring, it ends up.
Maybe we'll stop going to war if we had an educated population, David. Like I'm trying to get a return on my investment of taxes here.
50-60 billion in the first year.
Okay, so we're gonna spend that in a month.
And then
well, look up the cost of the Ukrainian war right now with the free Putin shit or free Ukraine.
Look this up. So it was like it was under $1 trillion for like 10 to 15 years or something for free college.
Yeah, because that's what Trump added to the military.
Yeah. How much money was spent in Ukraine so far?
Mm-hmm.
Just the United States.
Yeah, just United States. Since like the whole Putin thing. Yeah. Under the Biden administration.
All right, let's see. It's got to be. I'll put a guess out
it's
there.
$100 billion at least.
Oh yeah, it's probably more than that. I'm gonna say
$1 trillion.
I'm gonna say no. I don't think it's that high. $160 billion.
We're going $300 billion.
It might be. I think we've committed like more money, but I think the actual amount of money that went there was like less. It was something weird like that. Since Russia's full-scale invasion on February 24th, 2022, appropriate, made available, European, approximately 188 billion as of December 31st. This includes 164 billion from the 5 supplemental acts, plus additional from annual budgets and other sources. Some reports cite slightly lower figures, like 174 to 187 billion. So we got 180 billion for a nation that we're not involved with to fight another nation that we're not involved with. We spent $6 billion in 2 days on munitions to, start a war with a nation that wasn't a threat to us on behalf of another nation. We have, the Venezuela must have been a steal. I'm sure that wasn't very expensive. Plus, we got all their oil
That's
that
probably
we're
like a
clearly
few
not using.
few $1,000,000. Yeah, discombobulator probably messed up the
Discombobulator,
currency.
probably real cheap to run
The
that thing.
discombobulator. How much was it cost college? 50 billion. We said 30
In the first year, I think it was like 70 or 80 billion.
Okay, so
And then it was like 800 billion 10 years, I think was the number.
they want us to be retarded. It's just not a question.
Yeah, maybe. The only thing I'm not with you necessarily on this, and I understand like the sentiment, which that part I'm definitely with.
I think we're just beyond
The-
sentiment.
Yeah, it's
It's beyond sentiment. I just think at some point you have to look at them and be like, there's just no it. It just don't make any fucking sense. I'm not saying it's got to be government ran college, but like we can't give a company $1 trillion to make college so everybody's not retarded. Like that's all I'm asking. I'm not saying it has to be government. It could be private. It could be a high. I don't really give a fuck. We can't take $1 trillion and get everybody a free college education, but I can watch you shoot children in the face, level an entire city, and murder little girls going to school.
Ooh, how much? I forgot how much that was going to be. How much was New Gaza, New Rafah? I forgot what the projection on
They're
that
building
was.
180 high-rise multi
Yeah, and it
deca,
was like
100 million, hundreds of millions of dollars is being pumped into New Gaza within a few years, but you can't revamp the college education system within a fucking 5-year span, you pieces of shit.
the total reconstruction recovery estimate is around 70 billion. I think I remember we talked about this and we're like, there ain't no way. 180 high rises.
This was actually the metric we used to do the universal college.
Oh man, I don't think Mandy's heard your college argument. So Mandy,
Oh, yeah.
hold on, real quick, just because she said lots of people are incapable and unwilling to do college.
I
Just to
would
be- hold
definitely
on,
agree with
yeah. I'll lay this out real quick and then you can go. But
Yeah.
I think I can lay this out like quickly and easily. It's kind of weird speaking for Ryan while Ryan's here. The whole point is
Ryan's no longer
because
with-
no, but I'm going to explain this because I think I'm on Mandy's side on this, but I understand like where the point is. You're correct. A free college would be a fucking disaster. Just so we're clear, like it doesn't work. We both know this doesn't work. We all know this doesn't work. But when we say things like free college or universal basic income or like all these ideas are terrible ideas, like financially, economically, educationally, whatever. Like they're all horrible, terrible ideas. It just doesn't work. You make lazy people. College degrees become useless. But the point is, it's the idea that whenever it comes up in discussion, free healthcare, for example, again, government ran healthcare systems are a joke. You're in Canada, you get it. But it's the fact that they say we can't afford to do it, and then they go and spend trillions of dollars blowing up other nations overseas at no benefit.
you murder children? You
no benefit to the United
You can't
States.
afford healthcare for my children, but you can murder children, and you can know the odds of somebody getting pregnant in a third world fucking South American country, but I can't get healthcare for my kid. This is great. We can't even give. Look, I don't agree with it, but we can't give women that have children formula. They had to buy formula from Mexico during COVID. Like what we fucking have failed. We have fucking failed. I've heard for years. I'll never forget Mitt Romney. I'll never forget fucking because it came up on Obama. We're gonna have government rent. We can't afford that. I was like, wow, we really can't. It'd be too much money. The other thing, Mandy, like as far as like, I don't know if you punched in a cost thing here. I stopped caring about the cost of things when I found out that like who owes the government the debt. Like the government's debt is owed to like Amazon. It's not owed to China. China owes some of it, but in the grant, 85% of our debt is owned by American citizens. So like the idea that like a nation is going to overthrow America and call in our debt like I used to believe is arbitrary. It literally won't happen because unless fucking Amazon is going to own America, which it already does, it's not going to happen. It's an illusion and it's fucking Red Dawn propaganda from the 80s that we haven't cleaned from our conscious yet, because it's just not going to happen. So money doesn't matter because it's owned by ourselves. Rich people are debting the government, which is us, to fucking bomb kids, but you can't give my kid the shit so that they're not voting for people to get bombed. This is George Carlin has a fucking bit, dude. Oh my God. I forget how he words it, but he's like, they want you just dumb enough to work on the machines to keep the system going, just smart enough to operate all the complex machinery and all the systems in society. They want you just smart enough to understand all that, but just dumb enough to not ask any questions why. I forget what stand up it is, but it's like one of his opening monologues. And it's like all over the place. And he like wraps it all up in this beautiful bow saying about how we're all fucked. And it's like his thing is they own you. They own you. Like that's the bit. If you've ever seen the part now that I'm talking about it. But yeah, I have never. Dave knows more than anybody. I'm the fucking freest capitalist fucking guy. I want fucking burn everything to the goddamn ground, start over. I don't care anymore. But like I heard forever Bernie Sanders. I was almost a Bernie bro. I always make the joke that he wasn't. He was like right there. He's like the 1/10 of one. We're like, wow, dude. And it's like, what's your solution? He's like, more government. It's like, you're a fucking idiot. That's how we got here. I don't have a solution, but like I was so close because I was like, this guy gets it. And then the guy gets it. And then on top of it, people are like, well, we can't afford his propositions. Like, oh, that works because Dave and I were in the conservative mind, rather, not in the train of mind that these people are just borrowing money from Bill Gates to murder fucking Antonio in South America so they can take the oil. Like, people didn't know that so rapidly. So, one, I've heard for years that we can't afford it. And then I've watched you spend the equivalent amount of money of the thing you told me we can't afford. Like I've literally, Dave. That's why I had to puck it up again because I didn't quite remember all the numbers. There's so many fucking numbers on the show, but it's like literally like maybe we should just get like a hot list of like, well, we spent 300 billion in Iraq, so maybe we can spend 300 billion on a fucking, I don't know, a bridge system that isn't rotted every day I drive by it to work. Like,
Should I put that next to my good bad Epstein list?
yeah, I mean, maybe we should like really just keep a rolling tally of how much money we've spent. I heard for years about, how much money we've spent trying to investigate if Donald Trump was blah, 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 blah. But it's like, now it doesn't matter. Now that Trump has all the power, the cost of government shit didn't matter. But I heard about it for 4 years. It's the same hypocrisy. But I'm talking about like literally educating my children. And once again, it doesn't have to be government rent. I'm not saying take the $1 trillion and build government education centers. I'm saying we can't take the $1 trillion, even 500 billion. Who gives a fuck? Okay, we got to save some for defense. Fine. Take half of that. You can't build one school with $500 billion, but you can level Sandy Hook in a fucking weekend or rebuild it in one day so nothing's on the internet. It doesn't make any sense. The only way it makes sense is if it's a planned fucking takeover of your country, which Dave and I know and we prove every day, and I know I'm rambling, but that's my fucking it. Back to Dave's thing about boiling blood. It boils my blood that I have to watch them level cities and allow my city to slowly fall apart. Buffalo has a building. It's a super old church. It's over 100 years old, historical building. Magically caught fire, David. I think it was the Muslims during Ramadan. I'm
My
just
money's on
telling
the
you.
Canadians.
The Canadian Muslims?
The Canadians in general. I mean, they did set the White House on fire.
That was the British, David. British.
Well,
David.
the Canadians. They're Canada.
Look, the British burned Buffalo to the fucking ground. I'm not going over to England and fucking pissing on tea. Okay.
But they're coming for us, Ryan, because we say
What was I
bad
talking about?
things on
Oh,
the
they burned the
internet.
bridge. So this building is old, historical, super dope buildings. Got the fucking the art decor, gothic architecture that we have in Buffalo. It's very rare because it was only fucking blah 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 blah, blah, blah the whole nine. They come out and say, mind you, the thing was already like dilapidated. Something needed to be done with this building. Huge ass fucking fire. You know what the city of Buffalo said? We got no plans with it.
No, they probably can't afford it.
They can't afford it, but if they tear it down, they'd have to like literally tent the thing because it's got all asbestos in it, and you can't let that shit get in the atmosphere. So
So let
like
it fall to the ground on its own.
they're fucked, right? But on top of it, yeah, the only reason it's not getting fixed is because it's in the projects. If that was in Amherst or Williamsville or by Canisius High School or down in Orchard Park or Notre Dame,
Well, they can't fix that building, but they can build a brand new stadium. $2 billion.
there's little homeless people like 10 minutes from there. It's crazy. It's crazy. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the bridge. So they said, yeah, we have no plans to do anything. So I drove by the other day. My daughter's mother lives over there. I drove by the other day. It's just getting tagged up with spray paint. They got a shitty fence up and that's it. And they're like barely policing it. Dude, that is gonna be overran. They're gonna be having meth houses and fucking prostitutes fucking in there. Dude, like, and your solution is nothing. So the people who own homes in the area can just eat the property value loss. Are you fucking kidding me? Don't have money, but you could build a brand new stadium.
Um,
Are the Sabres
I
only
think flip
doing
on
good,
it.
David? Super conspiracy, so that New York can take another crack at the taxpayers here and get two stadiums within the 10-year span.
Honestly, I at this point I would take it. That's fine. It's
The
about time we
Sabres
get
are
some
on
good Sabre talk.
fucking
Um,
fire. Dude, I didn't catch the Tampa Bay game, but I did catch the Pittsburgh game the day or two before that one, and it was fire. I caught a little of the Tampa Bay game, but 7-8 is nuts in a hockey game, dude.
that is crazy.
It was
That is
crazy.
absolutely crazy. Uh, Ryan, we got some a little Epstein news that I saw. Apparently, the cops have swarmed Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch to search for bodies of two girls strangled during rough sex sessions amid human experimentation claims.
So he fucked him to death.
Well, if you really build up that adrenaline, Ryan, and trauma, the adrenochrome is more effective. Remember?
It's crazy. Strangle him to death while you're fucking him is crazy. And David, like you'd have to like hold your hand there to kill him, right? Like if you were to just let go, they could like regain consciousness within a couple of minutes there. So you're like holding them, still fucking them while they're dead.
The sad story of at least two girls killed during rough sex sessions at Jeffrey
Unfucking
Epstein's remote New
believable.
Mexico ranch is closer to being told following massive police swoop on the 7,500-acre property.
That's huge, dude.
Yeah, it's madness. For years, talk of the deaths have swirled around Zorro Ranch in the tiny town of Stanley, 30 miles south of the state capital of Santa Fe, but the identities of the girls have never been known. Now law enforcement is confident it can find the bodies if they exist and put names to the dead girls. Now that's a lot of ifs there. It's confident it can find the bodies if they exist, if they're at the ranch, if they can find it on a 7,500 acre piece of property. Like it's a lot of ifing, quite frankly.
Dude, 7,500 acres is fucking massive, dude.
It's a lot.
Just like trying to search UB.
Agents from the State Department of Justice, along with police and the local sheriff's office, started the search on Monday and continued into Tuesday. The investigation is running in a parallel to a truth commission that was unanimously set up by lawmakers last month to try to find out exactly what went on at Zorro. I wonder if any of those 3 million documents they haven't released has anything about this. We have heard years of allegations and rumors about Epstein's activities in New Mexico, but unfortunately, federal investigations have failed to put together an official record, said State Representative Andrea Romero.
Why is it
With
called
this,
Zorro Ranch?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, like Zorro, the masked fucking vigilante that goes around and fucks hot shit. Yeah, Antonio Banderas. Is it because it's close to Mexico? Like,
It's probably just Spanish.
super coincidence, David, that like the movie about a
But
guy who's a masked vigilante that drives around and fucks girl. Okay.
where did Zorro Ranch get its name? We'll find it. Spanish word Zorro, which translates to fox. Oh, it's the Fox Ranch, Ryan. There must be Fox there. There you go.
Very elusive, David, and cunning like a fox, are we, huh?
Zorro also famously refers to the fictional masked vigilante character. Yeah. The ranch has since been sold in 2023 and renamed to Rancho de San Rafael and its current owners. Who use it as a Christian retreat. Holy fuck. That's crazy. So currently it's a Christian retreat and it's being searched for dead bodies of girls who were strangled during rough sex and human experimentation. That is fucking crazy. Oh, here we go. Later in the article, Huffner says he plans to turn it into a Christian retreat. Epstein bought the property from former New Mexico Governor Bruce King in 1993. Yeah, it'd be interesting to. I don't. That's a big ask. I mean, trying to find bodies on a multi-thousand-acre ranch. That's a lot of searching, and not usually a lot of finding. Romero is one of several lawmakers who has called for a state truth commission to investigate potential sexual and medical abuses on the isolated ranch. As far-fetched as they may sound, the chilling accounts of human experimentation echo long circulating claims about Epstein's obsession with eugenics and his desire to engineer genetically superior children. Well, that's crazy. Before his suicide in 2019, convicted pedophile reportedly openly discussed plans to use the 7,500-acre Zorro Ranch as a base to inseminate multiple women and produce his own enhanced bloodline. There's no evidence that his sci-fi scheme came to fruition. The recent surge of tips flooding the state officials' inboxes has sparked calls for sweeping investigations. That is absolute madness. We've lost Ryan. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if we can get Ryan back on. In the meantime, I would like to talk about. I feel bad. There he is. Okay, I was gonna feel bad. I was about to feel bad, Ryan. Oh, lost him again. I'm just gonna have to pull up LifeLog. This is a new thing. I haven't heard this. Ryan sent me a text today about LifeLog. Ryan, what the hell is LifeLog?
A guy was on Sean Ryan's show talking about this, and it was a technology. Or no, I'm sorry. This was oh, what's his name? He's Joe Rogan's friend. He's got the glasses. Used to be like a big coke guy. He's a comedian, and he's the conspiracy guy. Not Brian Callen, but he's like all tatted. You would know him. He talked about the COVID thing before COVID. Like he was the guy that told Rogan about that conference they had about COVID before COVID came out. I think he's got glasses and he's bald, but he's a big conspiracy guy. He's Joe Rogan's friend. He runs conspiracy podcast, and he was telling some host about how like Facebook was made up by the CIA and intelligence agencies, and it was a way to track your entire life through digital means. And they basically were going to get you to upload your entire life willingly to a system so that they just mapped the entire human condition and knew what everybody was doing so that they would have a digital footprint of everybody's life. And I mean, they know.
Mandy said Tim Dillon.
You're Tim Dillon talked about it, but it's not Tim Dillon. God damn it! I almost just had his name again. Not Paul Stamos. Why would I? Why would I say
John Stamos from Full House? Paul Stanley from Kiss.
It's not Tim Dillon, though. Tim Dillon has probably covered this very thing. Like I'm sure he talked about it. I mean, I remember I graduated high school in 2009. So this would be my freshman year. I was 13. So that'd be 2012, 2013 year, right? No, tripping. I was
No,
13 that year. I was
maybe
born in 91. I was 13 that year.
I graduated in 08 and you're only 2 years younger than me.
Yeah, so it was 2003, 2004 that year. Okay, so like my freshman year, 2003, 2004, 2004, 2005, whatever it was. They brought us down. This was when MySpace was a thing. And they brought us down and it was the Buffalo FBI bureau was in there talking about how you guys need to be careful because people will try to get you to talk to them, and it was all about like kitty trying to get you to like kidnap you to fuck you based on by your MySpace profile. Now, years later, we all know that it's really them picking their favorite kids and probably kidnapping them. But um,
Well,
they told us that they recognized some of the kids. So
let,
this was put into me very young that the everything is tracked on the internet. I know like older people, this is a very thing. Be careful what you put on the internet. Be careful what you put on the internet. And we're in the part now that it's ubiquitous. Everybody puts everything on the internet because nobody cares anymore.
it really is kind of it's like over the top, like it's a big open book. Everybody just like lays everything out there on the
I
internet.
mean, instead of that, the fight at Yings, instead of running over there and fucking that guy up for him to stop beating somebody up, you recorded it. Like like you recording it in that time, you could have saved that dude's life. Instead, he could have been, like it's just so. I'm not saying everybody's got to be a hero, but you know what I mean, Dave. But go
Um,
ahead with the life log. I'm sorry.
yeah, let me read the general summary that I got. DARPA's LifeLog program. In 2003, the U.S. Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, DARPA,
DARPA.
launched a research program called LifeLog under its Information Processing Techniques Office. The project's aim was to develop an ontology-based system that would automatically capture, store, and make searchable every aspect of an individual's experiences and interactions. This includes phone calls, emails, instant messages, websites visited, TV, radio watched, books, magazines read, physical movements via GPS sensors, biomedical data, breathing, steps, heart rate via wearables, purchases, relationships, and environmental interactions. The idea was to build a massive multimedia database to map pattern and routines, habits, decisions, and social connections, potentially for military applications like predictive modeling,
Did you
AI
hear
assisted decisions.
multimedia, David? I just realized multimedia was the old word they used before they had smart on everything.
You mean like smartphone? They called it a multimedia phone?
Like a player, like multimedia player on Windows multimedia player back on desktop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, before they all became like apps and shit. Like that's I know it's dumb, but it's just something. It's easy to notice it in hindsight that like they just switched the term on us.
Um, the
Because
program drew.
smart and multimedia don't mean the same thing, right? Smart is
It
a
doesn't seem.
multimedia
Yeah.
device connected to the internet and is trackable, exactly what they're describing. Like the smart label came out of this multimedia. This literally, now that we're on the other side, you see how smart was just forced on us because they wanted your fucking data that they told you didn't fucking matter. Go ahead, David. I'm sorry.
The program drew heavy criticism for its extreme privacy implications, described by some media as a total surveillance tool or the diary to the end of all diaries. Due to privacy concerns and shifts in priorities following backlash against related programs like Total Information Awareness, DARPA canceled LifeLog on February 4th, 2004. Did they? Interestingly, the same day, oh, Jesus Christ, the launch of Facebook. Now I see the connection. The timing has fueled persistent online speculation and my favorite, conspiracy theories. suggesting connections or that private companies achieved similar data collection goals voluntarily through social media. However, no credible evidence. Ryan, you must wait for the facts, of course.
No credible
Facebook,
evidence from Gronk, even though Elon proved with Gronk that they were using portals to censor people.
yeah, but that's not this program, right? That's a different program. Facebook.
I mean, they
evolved
literally,
from a
they
college
just showed
networking
you,
site.
they just fucking showed you how the government will fund it, build the apparatus, then they transfer it to the private sector so that they can move outside of law and corporatize the
Well,
government and
Ryan,
corporatize
it's
your
just
rights.
like
And then they can get tax free because they're not funding it with a government organization. And since it's not funded as a government organization, it's not pettied or required for government oversight like Congress. So then that's when you get these fucking bullshit committees that Zuckerberg can go down there and talk to the guy and he doesn't even know what a fucking router is. And we can just sit here and be like, I don't understand how this is possible. And it's because they're written so far out of government because the government designed that system to allow it to happen. Because if not, they'd have to do something like they did with the vaccine courts, David,
make them
and have it
secret.
be in secret and have it be outside of lawsuits and law. But if they kept doing that with every aspect of the American Constitution, it would raise too many red flags. So they have to hide it behind these bullshit ass fucking excuses of, oh, we just shut down the project because it's not relevant and it's a privacy information. Of course, it's a privacy information problem. Read the Constitution. And we know they know this. The NSA, Snowden, they built. If this was abandoned by DARPA, why did they build all the Smurfs into all the smartphones before this date then? If it's just an abandoned project, how come
Well, that's
everything was
Ryan.
built
That's a private company building all those
private
smartphones.
company built
Yeah,
into a
yeah,
thing that is all unanimously connected in one
yeah,
devices?
yeah. That's the one.
And
No,
you're gonna tell me,
it
David,
really
that the
is a lot
Telecommunications
like
Act was a
the
way to
like when
bug
they
the whole
talk about
country?
like YouTube or X or whatever, like censoring people's speech, right? It's a private platform, right? This is what we always heard for years and years. Oh, it's a private
And,
platform.
and right wingers believed it because they believe in capitalism.
It's a private
And you can't
platform.
socialize the internet, David. You can't socialize the internet because then the government could control it. But we're getting controlled and censored already.
But there was always that
But if the government,
contingency of people, Ryan, that knew that this private platform debate was bullshit. And when Elon bought Twitter and unveiled the X Files, Twitter files, when we covered those, we covered them very closely for a reason. It's because they were important. It's because it was complete evidence that everything we were saying forever was correct. It was evidence that the government had open portals to social media agencies to censor your speech. It was not, in fact,
I
private platforms.
I can't look up my own program that I'm subscribed to that I film with my friend on my own fucking phone. And you're gonna tell me we live in a free country. You're going to tell me we're not a slave. I can't look up my own podcast on my own phone. We're free? We're fucking free? Wow. For years, this is dated. I haven't been able to look up my own pod for years, Dave. You know this. We talk about, but you're and what's the solution? Oh well, you violated their terms of really.
Well, you didn't. You know what you said doesn't align with the World Health Organization. What? And really, all you had to do was think about it logically. In a logical world, why the fuck would YouTube, a private platform, give a shit what the World Health Organization had to say if you're putting content on their platform that they're making money on? It
Well,
obviously didn't make sense.
this
Nobody would
this
censor your speech. They wouldn't prevent you from using their platform. That makes
why would
no
you
sense.
why would you openly censor half of your audience when half of Americans vote Republican? That's what we said during the whole thing. The whole thing was like bare minimum economically. It doesn't make sense to just shut out half of your audience and then tell us to go make our own Twitter. And then when we do, you shut it down like Parlor
Show me other
or tell
private
us that
companies that
Rumble
do that
isn't,
openly.
or tell
Think
us that
about.
Rumble's not viable. But now everybody has a Rumble channel. Ben Shapiro. They can go over to Rumble with all the fucking Palestinians. Catch me on Rumble for
I
my
love every
super
time you
big
do Ben Shapiro,
eyebrows.
you make it more and more effeminate.
He's
It
so
gets
fucking gay.
gayer
That guy
every
gets
time you do it.
fucked so hard by his wife in the butt, and I don't care, dude. Fuck him. Fuck him, his big ass eyebrows, and his wife that pegs him.
Can we talk? Why? I know this isn't the hard hitting stuff that we
He's
normally go
gay.
into, Ryan, but
He's
what's with the eye?
gay.
Yeah, but those
He's
aren't gay man
fucking
eyebrows.
gay.
Like,
I don't
what
give
is
a
with
fuck.
those eyebrows?
His wife likes the way they feel on her ass. I don't know. He's a fucking fuck that guy. I'm
You know what's
sorry. I
crazy?
shouldn't talk ill of people, but this guy is literally murdered. His words have murdered children, David.
Ryan, with all the time and effort that women put into their eyebrows that I never notice. I've never noticed eyebrows more than Ben Shapiro's eyebrows.
Yeah, I bet you it was a woman that pointed it out. It's probably Brett Cooper or Candace Owens. Ben, why are your eyebrows so big?
I like, for people who don't understand what I'm talking about here. Dude, there's a Yahoo article that says, what's going on with Ben Shapiro's eyebrows? Do you think he has a thing? Is this like a disease, like the eyebrowitis?
He's got reverse
Fresh
alopecia, dude.
memes drove us to investigate the question.
Is there a timeline? Like, does somebody got photographed?
It really is kind of, like an actual timeline. What would Grok say if I asked about? I'm just gonna ask Grok, what's up with Ben Shapiro's eyebrows? What does Grok have to say about it? I think when Elon came up with Grok, he'd never imagined the shit people were going to ask. Ben Shapiro's eyebrows have become a viral internet meme in early March 2026, with people joking that they've suddenly become massively thicker, bushier, or upgraded in recent videos. The buzz started around March 6th to 9th. That's now. I feel like it was before that. When side-by-side comparisons, older clips versus newer ones, circulated on X, Reddit, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, aka LifeLog, memes exploded with theories like he's getting gender-affirming eyebrow enlargement, Pinocchio curse, hair transplant or plugs. He's turning into cartoon character. Like, if you see, though, is there like a side by side? It's kind of fucking. This is the perfect side by side. It's kind of crazy. Like, it doesn't make sense. And it extra doesn't make sense because I don't know about you, Ryan. Like let's look at those fucking things, dude. How?
I think he's a different person.
What? Do you think so?
Well, what else do you explain? They look like two different people, bro. He could have so been swapped out with an Israeli spy, dude. Why would I not think that is possible? I mean, the hairline's not the same. Did he get a hair? He get a hair transplant too?
Well, I don't know. That's not. Maybe that's not super.
They look
crazy
airbrushed.
Because, like,
they look airbrushed.
If you look at old pictures of like Elon and new pictures of Elon, like, dude, he looks like a completely different person too.
Elon got a hair
transplant.
He's an alien. Elon got a hair transplant though. He's like they know that.
Yeah, I mean those are fucking thick.
I think he's a different person. The ears, he has different ears. I know it's an angle thing.
Ears? Does he have? Yeah, I don't know. Because angles and lightings can change all types of stuff.
David, I'm fucking telling. Or he got plastic surgery, dude. Like,
probably. I mean, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. They have plastic surgeons in Florida, don't they? Isn't that where he lives? Doesn't he live in Florida?
I mean, Trump got plastic surgery. He's hanging out with Trump.
Yeah, fuck this. Yeah.
Also, for the record, I don't even judge people for getting plastic surgery. If I had the money, I'd probably fucking do it too. Oh, you can look 35 forever? Bad, dude.
I wouldn't, because I've seen so much bad plastic surgery. There's no chance. I'm just gonna fucking drink I don't know water. About you, and I think this is kind of like I think this is pretty standard in the dude community, Ryan. But like, I don't know, like, I got black hair. They're going gray, and you know what color my hair is? It's black and gray, and that's the color it's going to be until it becomes a different color on its own. Like, I'm never going to dye my hair or dye my mustache or fucking. I'm not doing any of this shit. I really don't. care. Like if my hair goes gray, it's gray. That's like I never understood, and it's fine. Like I don't like have animosity towards people who do this, but like guys who dye their hair, it's like what do you? Why?
I had a
Just
buddy
don't-
that's how he used to fuck girls. He'd have him like dye his hair. He was kind of like taller and had bigger arms. So they'd be like dyeing his hair and he'd hit on him and then that's how he would get pussy.
He would hit on the girl who dyed his hair.
No, he would like ask, he would meet a girl, he'd start talking about like hair dye and stuff if he noticed their hair would be dyed. It's a good in.
Okay.
You gotta play your angles, dude.
All right. Okay.
I watched not watch him get a blowjob, but I watched him like literally get a girl's number talking about setting up a hair appointment. And it was just to fuck her.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't actually have to dye your hair for that though.
He did though. That was what made it even
I know
better.
that's what I'm saying. Like I just
Purple, red, or whatever the fuck it was back then.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that. It's a lot of fucking around. I'm not doing that. I'm not fucking around with my eyebrows and shit. I'm not fucking gonna paint them on like
you're not look smashing.
No. I actually defended. I think it was an episode that you missed that I kind of that I did. But I actually talked about looks maxing on the show because it was, to be honest with you, I didn't really even know what it was when I did this episode. I think it was before we talked about it. And I just looked it up live on air. I'm like, I keep hearing this. I don't even know what this is. And I started looking into it. I'm like, on the softest levels of this thing,
it's just like taking care of yourself.
Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah, it's like completely respectable. It's like
like wash your balls, cut your nails, get a haircut.
Yeah, like it's like just
wear
like
nice
normal
clothes that aren't stained and fit your body type. Like you don't even gotta have style when you look smacks. You can just start it like get clothes that fit you that are not sweatpants, like or a hoodie or.
So I was looking at all that. I'm like, yeah, that's actually not that big of a deal. I don't know why people are freaking out.
No, people are like breaking their jaws and shit and resetting their fucking unit. Like,
well, yeah, and that's called bone smashing. I guess when I started looking at the more extreme versions of it, I'm like, okay, now I see why people have a problem with it. That's fucking crazy.
Because they're all trying to look like Chads. They're all trying to get like
plastic surgery yourself is fucking madness.
It's crazy. It's a mental illness, dude.
So I guess to some degree, I don't know. I get haircuts and I shave, so I guess I'm looks maxing, right? But I'm not gonna smash my face with a hammer to get some fucking.
You're not gonna Squidward your way to fucking handsomeness,
dude. Fucking handsome Squidward is the fucking creepiest looking thing. There's no
such a good episode, bro. It's so good.
Crazy.
It's so good. They're punching their own face. He's so handsome, David. Come on.
They were all bone smashing on SpongeBob.
If you watch SpongeBob A Little Tore Up, dude, it's like this should not be for children. And like you could just sprinkle like a couple adult lines every 4 or 5 lines, and it would be a crusher for adults.
I don't think you have to be tore up to see that.
No, I'm saying if you are tore up, you're like, this is like 2 lines away from Rick and Morty level.
Rick and Morty is
adult. Wild. Yeah, adult level. Yeah, dude. Arguably, you wouldn't have Rick and Morty without like the ones that like a Simpsons, Family Guy, like all these ones that push the boundaries to allow that show to exist. Adult Swim in general, Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Were you a Space Ghost?
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah,
that was fucking crazy.
I tried explaining that to somebody because I was like, all right, Space Ghost Coast to Coast, like. What the fuck are you talking about? I was like, dude, you never seen Space Ghost Coast to Coast? I was like, yeah, Space Ghost, the fucking cartoon. They're like, I don't even know what that is. I was like, dude, it was a talk show of Space Ghost, and they would just make jokes with each other. It's so fucking funny, dude. It was so good.
Adult Swim was just like an experiment to make people feel like what acid feels like without being on acid. It's the craziest. It makes it's crazy.
We're like, what can we do before Girls Gone Wild comes on to keep people ready for Girls Gone Wild? Like, you know what? Put a potato and French fries on TV. and a floating meatball. Robot Chicken is crazy too, dude. Like that was like
Robot Chicken was actually really funny.
It's a fucked up TikTok. It's a fucked up shorts. It's basically just shorts. The whole thing is a short.
Well, I mean,
it's a chicken looking at a bunch of TVs is the thing, right? And it's watching. Those are the shorts.
Vine or whatever was out back then, wasn't it?
I don't know, but, like, I'm just saying it's, like, funny that that show is the thing that we all partake in still, like, it's art imitates reality. It's just so fucking funny. But, yeah,
Um,
the whole era of cartoons, Dave, I'm sorry I'm
no,
pontificating on
you're
this.
good because I think we're good. I think we're good here.
I'm a huge cartoon guy. I
I think we
I
covered
think
it all.
cartoons are the one medium that when you watch them, I think it's because it's a color, it's like auto hypnosis. And I also think since most people grew up watching cartoons, when you watch cartoons, your brain automatically puts you in the state of mind as if you're already watching them through the lens of a child. I truly think that if like you've kept your inner kid alive, I think cartoons bring that shit out. I know I'm saying this out of my personal experience. That's why I'm saying this so generally. But like if you are in touch with yourself or creative, I feel like cartoons keep you a kid, dude, and they're so funny. I think they're funnier the older I get. And even the same Tom and Jerry I've seen is still funny, dude. Like what do we got here? South Park is my favorite. Hell yeah, dude. South Park, dude, they need to do two things. They need to do a case study on South Park because they're predicting the future shit. Yeah, but like, dude, the quality of programs that they've been able to do for so long, they need to study. That show needs to like have a psychological breakdown because it's just actually fucking unbelievable how dope it is. But second of all, and then we'll get out of here. What really made me love that show was the writers. I caught a video. I'm big on writing processes. I've shared with Dave on the program. I'm big on writing processes and figuring out like how my favorite artists make music. Corey Taylor wakes up in the middle of the night and will go downstairs and write an acoustic song. And even if he'll perform it with a heavy metal or whatever, he always has the same practice. And when I was early in my creative processes of understanding myself, I was trying to figure out my own thing, and I always found listening to other people's stories helped me make my creations better. And the thing from South Park that's helped me more than anything is with storytelling. And a lot of storytellers do the and way. So they mean like, okay, Dave and I go to the store and then this happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. That's how most stories, and it's like things are attached onto them. Like they progress the path. South Park, the way they write their stories is why did this happen? So instead of going with progression through a what, they do it through a why. And when you lead with a why, when you tell stories, you have to answer the why in your story element, which is why all the shit in South Park connects back to itself. Right, that's why, like, the Shake Weight episode with the Cream Frige and Guy Fieri all come back to Stan's dad being backed up. Like, as crazy as it is, it's like, why the fuck are all these things in this episode? It's like, well, Stan's dad just needs the nut. Like, as funny as that was, they put all but think about it, like, really, what was the story of that episode? That's all it was he was having marriage problems. But it was the shake weight. She fell in love with the shake weight. Guy Fieri was there because he's having a fucking cooking off competition. Like, all of that shit happened, dude. I can only imagine these guys in a room, fucking drunk, baked, coke, whatever they do to get creative, right? Fried, whatever it is, or they're just super into it. And they're probably laughing their fucking ass off. Like, how the fuck did we get here? And it's all on the why. And I came up with a great thing, and we'll get out of here, David. My art form, David, is freestyling. I told you this with rapping. This pod is freestyle. We don't write none of it. Fuck it, we do it live. I do all my electrical work live. It's a motto. It's a lifestyle, right? And I came up with the ultimate fucking line, bro. The universe is a freestyle. Like God would get bored with his own story if he knew the ending, which is why everything happens all at once. Like that's why revelations always happen forward in time, but it took the backwards momentum because like multiverses are like every possibility of everything is ever possible for every person forever and every possible like the future is literally infinite, right? Like in theory, the actual thought of it, but also in actuality. Because if I do this different than this different, it does the multiverse thing, right? But like in actuality, like God didn't make the future. He just makes the present. He's outside of time, right? And it's almost like if he knew the ending of our story, he wouldn't even bother playing it. And I just love the idea, the concept that the benevolent creator, David, that is outside of everything metaphysically, still can be bored. And it's just back to the inner kid thing that you just got to run. So, Dave Ryan, December 1773. Catch us on Rumble for the greatest podcast in human history. As always, David, I appreciate you the most for your time. And I'll see everybody very soon.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ryan.